Andrew, we can't do this 5 minutes. Come on. I love producer corner.
Can you hear me? There
Yes.
we go. Okay. So I have to think big picture here. It's evergreen enough, but since you asked nicely,
I did ask,
and you already brought it on the show, so we have to, I think, do producer corner now. Okay, quickly then, because when I was doing the post game the other night, thank you to everybody who's been unnecessary with their kind words. I was just reacting to my basketball team winning a basketball game.
Give more kind words to Andrew. He deserves it.
Please, no. Well, I mean, I guess I'm better with compliments than John. Although, Jeremy, was I listening correctly? He said, like, the most humble guy that I've ever met said, I got a shot if you give me one at Jamie Lynn Spears.
It's not Brittany. It's Jamie Lynn.
I mean, it's still Jamie Lynn Spears.
The confidence exuding from you.
It's impressive, actually.
Can you do this same amount of confidence when you're like plugging the YouTube channel and the merch store?
We could go off on a really a tangent here, but I'm going to say
KFS after dark. Okay,
I will just say that if there is one area of my life, and my wife will be the first person to tell you this, that I have never lacked confidence in is with members of the opposite sex. So
okay,
do just note that.
When we launch a Patreon, those stories will be what we sell. Just Macri uncut. Okay. That's the next venture here at Knicks Film School. Okay. Plain and simple. Someone hit us up in the super chat on Friday night with retire all 5 numbers, all the jersey numbers of the 5 starters that played, or at least the 5 guys that played the most down the stretch during that comeback. And I joked that RJ is going to be the next one. Because I can't see like the next Knick to get their number retired. And it actually got me thinking, like in baseball, it's easy for me because it's the Mets and they've retired 4 people. Do you know the 9 Knicks to have their numbers retired? Because
Sure.
it got me thinking that I didn't know off the top of my head. So John, do you know them?
I think I do. Do you want me to just name them?
Jeremy, do you think you know them?
I think I could probably get 6 or 7.
Okay, so
let's
go back and
cross
forth.
cross off the obvious ones. Reed, Frazier, DeBusschere, Ewing, and Holzman are 5 obvious ones.
That's
So
5. Yeah,
6-13, right?
correct.
So the other, we need 4 more, right?
Correct.
Bradley, I'm pretty sure has his number retired.
Bill Bradley, number 24.
Yeah. Do you want it? I probably took
Monroe?
the easiest.
Earl Monroe, number 15. Yes.
So I'll be honest. I wouldn't have thought of Monroe. I would have forgotten him,
Mm-hmm.
which is embarrassing. Does Walt Bellamy doesn't have his number retired, does he?
No.
Okay.
We're at 6, right?
We're at
No,
6.
we're at 7.
You're at 7. You're at 7. You have 2 more.
Because Monroe was 7. It has to be someone early on in there, very early on in the.
They both have the same name, actually. Like same first name.
They both have the same first name.
Yes. You said Frazier, Monroe, Reed, DeBusschere, Bradley, Ewing, and Holtzman, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Then you're missing 2 that have the exact same name, number 12 and number 15.
Oh my God.
This is what I was going for with the game. Jeremy, you're lucky. If we had more time, I was going to ask you to name all the Yankees you could.
Oh, God.
That's
a lot harder.
That's a Patreon show all to itself. There you go.
I don't know. I can't think of the other 2.
Okay. I'll give John a second. This is actually because I think people who know are yelling at you in their cars or at the gym or wherever they're listening to this.
They're looking like Brandon Marshall.
It's
screaming
not
at
Yes,
John.
they're literally Brandon Marshall.
But it's not anybody. It's not anybody in the last 40. Like King,
No.
didn't have his number retired. Obviously,
No. There's not 2 Bernards also.
It's got to be someone from the very beginning of the time as a franchise. Who was it?
Both names are Dick Barnett and Dick
Dick
McGuire.
Yep.
Tricky Dick Barnett had his number retired.
Mm-hmm. Dick Barnett wore number 12 for the Knicks, played from 65 to 73.
I literally just looked at the poster behind me, which the glass cracked earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm sorry.
It's old glass.
That's cheating. That's definitely cheating.
I mean, it didn't work.
That's
you
true.
know?
That's even
No, but
worse.
I'm literally. I looked at the man. I'm like, oh, there's Tricky Dick with his funky jumper. But he was a 6 man, and they retired his number. Wow.
Yeah. Is there the other part of this was going to be Like if you could retire somebody else's that hasn't been retired yet. I know I'm not even going to bother with number 7 because I know.
No, it's Melo. It's Melo's.
Do you think Melo should get? So Bernard shouldn't get his number retired? You don't think?
I think we're past that point.
I would be fine with Bernard King getting his number retired. I'd be happy for him. I think he does. I think he deserves it. I think he was that good for that period of time. But I think Melo is the next player who should get it because that dude, like, he deserves to have his number retired by a franchise, and he played his most meaningful years for this franchise, and thus this franchise should be the franchise that retires his number.
Is this spin? Are you trying to get back in Melo Stan's good graces after last week?
I have my own personal issues with Melo that, again, I've said repeatedly, I've come to grips with the end of the Melo time here. It doesn't mean I can't recognize the greatness and he is a capital G great player, first ballot Hall of Famer, all of the things. I just had some issues with how his time here ended up, and I put more blame on him than maybe some other people do.
No, you know what, Jeremy, I figured it out. John's been getting a lot of FaceTime lately, asking Tibbs a question on Friday night, getting an Obi clip to go viral. He's campaigning to introduce Melo at his jersey retirement. I see what you're doing.
Smart.
Come on to you. And knowing you're going to be like, so we're retiring 17 for Jeremy Lin next, right?
Look, very funny. Look, I have my issues with every player. I just had more issues with Melo than I have with some others. But to say that Melo doesn't deserve to have his number retired by this franchise is, I think that's.
Well,
I don't necessarily think he should.
I'm with Jeremy. I'm also like really picky with who I want. I don't want the Mets to retire. Like, I don't want the Mets to retire David Wright. Like, if you had a conversation
with Andrew about baseball Hall of Fame in terms of like who belongs in the Hall of Fame, he would say there's the Hall of Fame and then there's the Hall of Very Good.
Yes,
and
it's true.
And the way I look at Melo is an outstanding individual player. He had a scoring record. The year he got that lone MVP vote. I mean, he brought so much to this city, but then it was like, okay, but what is so much? Individually, he was a phenomenal scorer, and he helped in other ways. But at the end of the day, I kind of look at it as like, yeah, I mean, there was one playoff series win, and I understand that is not totally on his shoulders. That is also on the front office. There were so many parties at play in terms of how that is dictated. But I don't know. I look at towards the end of his Knicks career as well, and I'm not trying to just focus on that either. But it just felt like there were a few really good years, and it's just like, okay, well, are we stuck with this? What's going on? He's now not going to move. You're
preaching to the choir on all this.
Sure, but I do agree. I think that he deserves to have his number retired somewhere, and if it's not going to be in Denver, then where else would it be?
They're not going to retire in Denver.
And also, I think if there were Bernard King, if he were to get his number retired, the reason it would have happened already is when the Knicks were just absolute dog shit. That would have been a great way to get fans excited and get them in the building.
Yeah.
But that was also, he played for the Knicks 30 plus years ago, whereas Melo is far more recent history. You've also got Leon Rose, his former agent, who is going to be there. And if Melo retires in the next few years and Rose is still here, I'm sure they would try to campaign for something. But again, like I'm not going to be upset if they retire his number. I think he deserves to have it somewhere. It's kind of to me like, all right, I guess I don't think that he did as a Knick. I don't think he did nearly what a lot of the other names who are hanging from the rafters, banners did. But
we just said Tricky Dick Barnett. I don't know what his final scoring totals were for the Knicks, but the dude won a championship and he was an integral, or 2 championships. Excuse me. I'm pretty sure he was on the first one too.
One thing. Yeah. I actually do think I know the relationship is sour with him in Denver. Like, the guy went to the conference finals, made the playoffs every year he was in Denver. So I think there is more of a case there. Whether they will or not is a whole different story. If I then had to ask you guys, what's the next number to be retired by the Knicks? If I just had to just put any amount of money on a betting odds, would it be 15 or is it 9? Is it, what's Quickly's number, 5? Is it 1 for?
Are you talking about other than Melo?
Yeah. Well, no. Like, do you think the Knicks will eventually retire his number? Like, Jeremy made the case of Rose being here being actually really.
I think they will retire his number at some point.
Okay. Then after Melo.
By the way, bad job by me. Tricky Dick Barnett made a fucking all-star team. Good job by him. Anyway.
Sorry, you were in high school.
Fucked up.
It's been a while.
So fucked up. Still around, still giving interviews and stuff. Anyway,
come on the pod.
We probably get him. Anyway, I think it'll be Melo, and then after that, I don't think they'll, because they would have done Starks already if they were going to do someone else from that era.
All right. Well, I'll project and say number 9 will be after Melo, retired by the New York Knicks.
After Melo. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, that RJ Barrett will be the next Knick to get his number retired after Carmelo Anthony.
I mean, that would be wonderful.
Yes.
I'd be very happy.
Jeremy the Dream, John.
I will say 77. Andrea Bargnani. He's going to be up there. Raise it. I want his jersey to ascend higher than he ascended when he shattered his fucking elbow and then put an exclamation point on that magnificent trade.